Today is Wednesday, February 20th, 2019. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor Edge of Extinction, Episode 1.
That's right. The 38th season of Survivor has begun. You know, we recently celebrated a birthday.
Oh, yeah, our podcast.
Yeah, so we started in February of 2005. So when you see, and thank you to the folks who sent
For the birthday wishes.
birthday wishes when you saw that on Facebook.
Well, we've talked about it before, but, you know, not everybody. It's very rare, so not everybody gets the message.
So that's actually the birthday of the podcast. It's got nothing to do with either Joanne or I, although you do have a birthday coming, don't you?
Very soon, yes.
Yep, so we started in February of 2005. We are the longest running Survivor podcast, bar none. For what that's worth. I don't think that means anything, and I don't put any measure into
that
numbers
just means
like
we're
that.
old.
But we're in our 14th year of podcasting about Survivor. This is the 29th season that we covered.
That we've been podcasting.
Yeah, and this will be episode number 1151. I always end up thinking about that when we start a new season, or sometimes when we're winding one down, and we look at where we were and, you know, how far we've come, all that. And so definitely excited about to the beginning of season 38 here. And our episode title was It Smells Like Success. We're both having trouble talking, aren't we?
Yes.
And that was spoken by Joe as he and Aubry were working that bamboo saw to get a fire going there on day one. Quite awesome. He's done that before. He's really good with that technique.
Well, that's a good thing, too.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
convenient for the others.
Yeah, in my skills classes, they talk about the psychological benefits of having that, even though it's quite warm where they are, and they're, you know, it's headed into the warm times. It is a comfort to know that you've got that, and that it's just that easily taken care of.
Yeah, but if they want to, you know, cook some coconut, or they have food there from the ship, so it's nice to have fire to be able to cook something.
Yep. So as we come in on the season, they're on that beautiful sailboat. You got the 14 new castaways, and we get early confessionals from Dan/War Dog, although he seems more like a Dan to me than he seems a War Dog right now.
Yeah.
So I don't get the War Dog part yet.
They play, you know, that kind of thing up, but...
Get a confessional from Wendy and Joe, so there's our first ones. I'm thinking at least two of these people may not be long for the game.
Okay.
And then Jeff tells us about the whole premise, and, well, not the premise, but he's winding them up, getting them ready for bringing in the previous players.
You know, he almost starts the season with, just think, within 72 hours, one person will be voted out. I was like, whoa.
I like that. It's like, this is the cold, hard Survivor fact.
It felt kind of shocking to me that that's what he started with.
It was very blunt, but it made for a good lead-in to bring back the returnees
if you say so.
Yeah.
That was kind of taken aback a little bit.
Yep. As we kick off the Edge of Extinction, a.k.a. Keep Joe in the Game Island.
Well, and I thought to myself when Jeff was giving their track records, I could just feel him inside going, Jeff, shut up, Jeff.
Sure.
Shut up.
It seemed pretty intense, the way he framed Wentworth and the way he framed Aubry seemed even more intense than the one for Joe. We'll get to David in a minute.
76 days out of 78 or so.
Well, he started with Aubry cried. the first day in the shelter, and then she said she went on
She
to
cried.
to last.
And then she...
Yeah, so you may feel like crying, but you're in here with someone who's been here for 76 out of 70
You know what
days.
just immediately came to my mind when Jeff said that was, whoa, we got to get her out.
Yeah, that's the threat. Same with Wentworth. Finding 2 idols and a record-setting blindside does not count, times 9. Yeah, or whatever it was.
Well, what did you think about it was Lauren that was so excited to see Kelly. She saw Kelly first, and they showed a clip
Kelly
of her
and Joe,
saying
yeah.
that she had a crush on Joe and that Kelly was her favorite player, kind of thing. And then she sees Kelly first, that blonde hair, and then she's like, whoa, and Joe. I'm like, down, girl. He's taken. He's taken.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what Lauren has to say about that.
Well, he doesn't have to deal with it right now. She's not on his trial.
I want to back up for a second. I was very disappointed in the 39 days Probst pullback shot and all that. Usually it's very dramatic. It'll be on top of a mountain or it'll be on top of
I don't even remember it.
He was standing in a debris pile on an island. I don't even know if that was a helicopter shot. It might even been a drone. I think they might have saved some money and
I remember seeing it when the
boated him out
video
with a
for the
drone.
first 2 minutes came out. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
He's just kind of standing in a debris
Standing
pile on
there.
a little island. It was... it wasn't impressive the way
well,
Yeah, definitely some cutbacks.
our helicopter budget has been cut.
Yeah, I think they boated him out, and he might have run the DJ Mavic. He might have had the controller on autopilot behind him for that shot.
Yeah, true. Okay, well, it is
and
unusual.
then the intro for David was much less scary. It was, he started off scared, and then got more used to
Blah,
playing
blah,
the
blah,
game.
blah, blah, blah. And then he ended up lasting, and David kind of smiles over at Joe or something like, yeah, he's going to build us up. Shut up, Jeff.
And then compare that with Joe's, which is he's led his tribe to 16 challenge wins.
16 challenge wins.
Which, when you're worried about going out first,
Yeah, it's like,
that's a
keep me.
very, very compelling, but very, very.
I thought they were going to want to keep him a while and learn. Why wouldn't you learn from him when you think if you think you got an alliance and can get him out, anytime, because you never know when something else will.
Yeah, you don't know anything
twist
at
will
that,
come up,
that
so.
stage in the game.
That may not work, but
Probst tells them they're going to have to stand up, adapt, and conquer. And here's 2 minutes. Grab what you can and get off the boat.
yeah. And then we were saying, okay, who's going to get an advantage? And Ron, of all people, got it. Well,
How
good
did you
on
get to
him.
of all people?
I don't know, because
That's code for you didn't want him to find it.
I didn't want him to find it. You're right.
Yeah, Ron of
I
all
don't
people.
know how much I like him, and I was disappointed that he was the one that found it. But okay, good job, Ron. You found it.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah,
He's paying attention.
absolutely. He's playing.
Probst tells us there's very little communication as they're scrambling around the boat and then just start chucking stuff over the side, to which Reem adds herself, being the first one off the boat.
Well, I had heard this in an interview. Probst had said Keith can't swim.
He was
And,
working hard to keep that head above water, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Jeff was afraid he wouldn't even jump off the ship.
Well, he proved, he
He
put
did.
that to rest.
He did.
Good on you, Keith. You are bold, sir, jumping out there with those little skills. And Lauren came over to help him.
Yeah.
Once she saw
but,
he was having a hard time.
that would immediately say to me, how are you going to do water challenges? We can't count on you for water challenges.
Depends,
so,
yeah. Not all of them have swimming. And,
No, they don't.
Or in deep water.
But
So.
they might, and they don't know how many.
Well, it is what it is.
Yep.
And once you find out you're going to be on, that's not really enough time to learn how to swim.
I guess
But
not.
I guess
but if you were even applying to be on Survivor, why wouldn't you at least learn to swim and make fire?
Yeah, because you don't
Basic.
think it's going to happen. Or why don't you do it? Because it could save your life.
Well, yeah, just do it.
Some people are terrified.
Because of
you know
that,
someone who's terrified of the water.
Yes, I do, and it's been a lifelong problem. She panics.
Yeah, so your mom,
My mother.
she's terrified.
I know Dad threw me in the river once and said, "Mom, she'll learn," you know. And my mother screaming on the, "Go, you go back and get her," and I'm like dog paddling because I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she's walking away." She said, "Oh, he would have come back and got you if you were drowning." I thought, "Hello, undercurrents." But I wasn't very old, so my mother.
You probably didn't.
My
think
mother
that.
gave me
Yeah.
swim lessons
Yeah.
before Dad threw me in again
Yeah.
to teach me to swim.
Good deal. Probst tells us that Kama had an early advantage. The Kama tribe, they did a really good job of gathering stuff, and we're off. They're paddling, and then we're off to commercial.
Yeah, they didn't spend a whole ton of time on that.
Nope,
Let's
I
just
like
get
that.
to it. Yeah.
I like that. Well, and with a short episode, not getting a double or an extended, then by all means, let's get through this part quick and get to camp. And that's where we come back from commercial. We're at the Manu camp at day 1.
And Rick's telling us, "Hey, I got a dad bod. I'm going to tell him I'm an anchor right up front. I'm not going to be a threat."
I like how he owned it too. He said he was really overwhelmed at the beginning when they were doing the meet and greet.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked calm on the outside when he's telling us he's a morning news anchor and all that. But then they cut to that confessional that they used when they introed this season at the end of the last one, where he was talking about how he wanted to be the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah, breaking through.
And Kelly and Lauren kind of try to bond over soccer. Of course, Kelly knows she got to bond with anybody that'll talk to her if she can.
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought she had a pretty good social game. She's talking about how she didn't have such a great social game. I guess she did end up on the outside in Game Changers, so.
Yeah. I thought, I remembered it that she was on the outside a lot, actually, or always seemed to end up on the outside.
Certainly on her first season in San Juan del Sur,
Yes,
that became the
definitely
case.
there, but.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we find out Wendy has mild Tourette's, and
Well,
I had
actually,
read about the OCD. but-
Just before we go there, let's talk about Reem, because Reem's clumsy and she's like falling
Must
down.
we?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
she was. And then said something about, "Oh, I'll do it again." I'm
And
just clumsy.
Wentworth and David were on watch. They were checking Rick to see if he might be clue hunting as he was over there looking through the food. And David's being asked about how to build shelter. He said he was answering questions, but I wasn't getting a confidence vibe off of him. I'm not sure how long that went on.
Well, he was talking about how he used to be so scared the first time out when they were, building shelter and everything was so noisy. And then
Cut
Julie.
to Wendy chopping away on the
yeah, it was
bamboo,
Wendy.
and there's David flinching.
Yeah.
He's still
I
flinching.
thought, oh, that's a nice touch, but at least he went over then and stabilized it for her, so she wasn't just being off of it.
Right. Yeah. And he tells us that this time out, he's here to be a friend. He wants them to trust him. Yeah. And so that caught me off guard. I didn't know what was going on when she made that first sound. I
Yeah.
thought she was hiccuping, and I was thinking, oh no, she's going to hiccup the whole darn time out here.
Oh well, see, I thought she's gonna break the machete. I'm forged in fire every time they hit something with the blade.
Yeah, if we're going to get the ding.
Oh, are we gonna get a ding? Is it gonna break?
Not Bing, but a ding, yeah.
Yeah,
Different,
ding.
different reality show.
That's right. Okay.
All right. So,
Back
yeah.
to Survivor.
And Wendy's got mild Tourette's and some OCD. And
And says she's awkward.
she knows that she's awkward, so she's got
Yeah.
some self-awareness about it. My first thought was, if you tell me that you've got sequences like that'll trigger, I'm probably going to use that to my advantage, and it won't be to your advantage.
But she's on your tribe right now. I
won't
see that on the opposite
won't-
tribe.
Yeah, exactly. You get shuffled, and it's like, oh yeah, do this in the challenge when she's trying to do something and see if it has an effect on her.
That's just mean. That's just mean.
Yeah, well, here you go.
I know it's a game for $1 million. Anything's fair, but that's mean.
It's an important life lesson that you'll help her learn.
Oh,
which
shut
is
up.
You don't have to share everything
I'm not
with everybody.
buying the spin. Give it up.
All right, so Wendy knows she's a little awkward, and this puts her on the candidate list to go.
Well, it can be an issue. It may be an issue out
Well,
there.
I think wasn't it Reem? You see in the subtitles, Reem's like, stop it. Which is probably where I would get to pretty quick.
She's
Knock
like,
it off.
I can make her stop it. I can break her focus. I make her stop it.
Yeah.
Because I'm the mom.
Yeah.
But I thought, I would imagine she's so used to it, she would just spin it off. Whatever's happened, she'd just keep going. I don't know that it would interfere with the challenge all that much, but we'll find out.
Let's jump over to the Kama tribe.
All right, the Yellow Tribe. Joe says he's trying to put Joey Amazing away, but people keep asking him questions, and he knows he has so much to offer.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a helpful person, which I believe Joe is, and he wants to help people, it's probably really hard to not.
Yeah, case in point, you see him making fire there with the bamboo saw, him and Aubry, and that's when you get the title of the episode.
I really liked Aurora's like, yeah, I want to align with him.
Having
He
Joe
can
is
make
great.
me fire and shelter. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, she surprised me a little. She said, I may be gay, but I'm still on Team Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I thought, well, even better, he doesn't have to worry that you're attracted to him.
Well, she is in a platonic, hey, you're great for my tribe way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, Julie, what was it? She had a splinter or something? I thought she was going to whine or something.
Wind it back just a second there, in that she can't weave palm fronds.
Okay, why should she be able to?
Well, it's relatively straightforward. She got the instructions, yet she's not able to accomplish that
Follow
simple
the
task.
instructions?
She got the instructions from one of her tribe mates, yet she's not able to do that. I think if you can't weave palm fronds like that, you're
Well, it's just over and
hurting.
under, over and under, right?
exactly. Well, and she tells us she's got no
I've got
outdoor
a
skills.
splinter.
I think it's and then she ends up with a splinter in her toe.
But she comes back to redeem herself by getting over there and chopping up a bamboo.
She's able to cut one of the ends off, which is no easy.
That is
feat.
not no, it isn't.
As you see Joe instructing them, you got to hit it at a certain angle, otherwise you'll just bounce off of it.
So, what do you think Ron meant when he said we got all the rations?
Well, they
Does he
did.
think the other tribe didn't get?
Well, he probably, I don't know,
'Cause
maybe
they
he
did.
did hear Probst say that they did really good getting supplies, and
Okay.
I think he's just being positive, saying that it's the best start ever of any tribe. And
They got fire. They got rations.
but what we really want to know is, what does that secret advantage say?
Mm-hmm.
So he makes an excuse, tells Aubry he's going to go get some water, and he heads off to read the secret advantage, which tells him he's got to dig 3 feet east of the tree mail location. And he finds, what is it called? The advantage menu. This was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it was. You get to choose.
You got options. So 3 different options. You can steal a reward from another tribe, or you can take an extra vote.
Too early in the game for.
Or it depends on what it is and how much you think your tribe needs it. Or you can take an extra vote, or you can go with individual immunity. And so, yeah, that was his reaction was spot on. That was very empowering. That puts you on a whole different strata there in terms of how you're approaching the first part of the game.
Not sure I would use it to steal a reward, but the other two are awesome.
The catch being it expires after the 3rd tribal council. If you haven't used it, it will cease to exist. So I like the expiration date on it like that.
Yeah, but is it the 3rd tribal council that they go to, or just the 3rd one in the show?
3rd one in the show.
Okay, so one down, not an option.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why steal the rewards in there.
Might not really. Yeah. Well, I guess if they got comfort or tarps or that kind of thing, it might be worth.
Yeah.
But then you just end up getting traded, and that would drive me crazy.
Oh, you went to glasses half empty. Yeah. No,
I
you
did.
You take it while you got it.
But it's a reward. It's if he sees he's not going to be able to use it, then yes, use it for whatever. And but I wouldn't want to have to share with the tribe that necessarily that I had other options with that and just wasn't telling anybody.
No, you don't have to though.
Something. Well, no. You don't.
And you shouldn't.
And I would get rid of that so nobody'd ask to read it.
Yeah. Or save it and tear off the part about it expiring so you can use it as a fake.
Yeah, save it for later.
Yeah. Get creative.
Okay.
Comma Tribe, day 2. Eric's wondering what edge of extinction means.
Yeah, Eric, Joe,
Good
and
on
Gavin.
him. There's a reason they showed that. See, he's thinking about the context of things, and he's the one highlighted for that.
Did you go with him as USB?
I did.
I did too.
Yeah.
You know, I went back and I watched this video and I thought, I just kind of like him. And I went back and watched Julia as well. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I like Julia too, but I thought, I just really want to cheer for him.
Yeah.
I just kind of thought, he may be a dud when we get out there, but I just kind of wanted to, so I just went with that, what I thought would make me happy.
Alrighty. Well, and that's what's important.
Though I figured a lot of people were going to choose him, but I did it anyway.
Yeah, he's definitely seems like a smooth guy, and he's got a handle on things, and I think that's why they show that he's looking at things in a meta sense, so at a level above, he's wondering, what does that really mean? There's always something to that. Yeah.
You could see both Joe and Aubry kind of looking around. They didn't want people to see them talking too much, I don't think, or like they weren't talking strategy.
On a positive note, they were talking about all the good vibes they were getting.
Yes.
So, yeah. But Aubry is acknowledging that it can be terrifying, and that in her little quick confessional there, she tells us that she's going to lay hidden in the grass before she rears up like a cobra and strikes.
If you're given the chance. Okay, we see Gavin and Eric off together, and of course, Eric's talking about Gavin being Southern, and asked, tell me something that
qualifies
makes
you?
country.
What are your bona fides?
I eat fried pickles.
That'll do it.
Never had a fried pickle.
Okay, good enough.
But,
You definitely roll with that.
I like pickles.
What'd you think about their conversation? They're not so keen on these returnees. Eric really wants to figure out the game for himself.
Well, I think he just doesn't want to depend on them. And they don't. I think it was more Eric than Gavin, even. But I think we should figure things out for ourselves. Let's not go to them and make them think we can't do without them. I don't know if he thinks that'll keep Joe more in line, but he definitely wants to keep Joe as a meat shield in front of them, and I think that's smart, actually.
Sure, we've seen that work to great effect in the past.
Yeah. And besides, what tribe doesn't want to win 16 challenges?
And who does Eric not care about having in the game? Aubry. Get rid of her fast, he says.
Yeah.
So that probably soured some of the Eric fans that are also Aubry fans.
Well, but that makes more sense to me if they want to get rid of a returning player that they know is very strategic and has lastability, but she's not a huge advantage in physical challenges.
She does okay.
She does okay.
She's not
but
a
she's
superstar.
not a Joe.
Yeah, well, she's definitely not a superstar.
So if they want to narrow down the experienced players, then you go after Aubry.
Makes the choice pretty simple, doesn't it?
Yes, and he wants her out first.
Okay, we're over to the Manu tribe there on day 2. Reem tells us, so far so good, she says, is she's taken people's clothes and put them out on the beach to dry. And Lauren's
the sand.
Not really having that. She really would, she wants Reem to stop moving her stuff, is what she says.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of unhappy people. And moving other stuff, too, not just
Although there was one really happy person, Keith. He was telling her he's got that motherly vibe.
I
to which
believe
Reem,
I mentioned that he had to be a mama's boy.
You were right. He owned that. He said that out loud.
I'm a mama's boy.
Reem's response, oh, so nurturing is Reem, tells him, well, I might have to tell you to tighten up a little if you keep that up.
And I thought, yeah, she'll be your mama.
Yeah, she's ready
She
to.
might be more of a disciplinarian than you're used to.
I really like that Reem and Wendy took him out of the ocean and spent some time with him, helping him learn how to swim, though. I didn't realize it was going to backfire on him the way it did, though. I wasn't really anticipating that.
No, I
was just
really
either,
either,
thankful for them putting the time in with him and thought that was
well,
awesome.
I think it was an advantage for the entire tribe, for anyone to work with him to improve his swimming abilities.
You would think
That's
so.
good for the whole tribe.
But you know who put a different spin on it? Our boy Rick. Oh, yeah. He says, I see a 3-person alliance
Kelly.
out there. Wentworth says, perfect, because that means we got the numbers.
Well, in hindsight, it would have been wise to maybe try to bring in some other people who wanted to. But, there's only so many people can help him swim.
Yeah.
That's realistic. But in the game of Survivor, you might want to invite other people to, let's go teach this boy to swim.
But it wasn't really working out that way, according to Rick. He said that they had been isolating. They've been separating themselves, and he was happy because that made for easy pickings.
I know. Kelly happened to be. She says, I don't think she even stopped walking back. She said, well, great. Here's our alliance right here. That's easy.
Rick goes on to tell us that Reem's a busybody, Keith can't swim, and Wendy's hyperactive. So they've all got things about them that make them great candidates to be voted out.
Yep. We were keeping track along the way of, okay, who are they putting out there that are possible first outs? And I just chose the wrong tribe this week. I had been going with the...
She almost made it.
I know.
She almost got there.
No, I don't believe I've ever got a first out. If I have, I don't remember it. So, and I thought, okay, well, I don't normally, so whatever. But I would have chosen Reem had I gone with that tribe. But I convinced myself because Eric and Chris and those guys are so big and strong. I convinced myself that Joe's tribe, Joe wouldn't, but I thought the other women, there was Julia, and I thought they were going to have a lot more trouble pushing those heavy things. Well, they were moving them.
Speaking of day 3 and the reward/immunity challenge.
Oops, did I skip ahead?
Well, you can't help yourself sometimes.
Well,
that's all right.
That's true, and I don't care. So.
Yep. I know someone else who acted like that.
Who?
Reem.
Aha. Did you have something more to say about Reem?
No, not right now.
Well,
so there are a lot of obstacles here in the challenge.
Immunity challenge was up next.
Yeah, you almost made it.
Okay.
So we got this really cool dragon immunity idol. I like that.
You had said that might be a slide puzzle. I couldn't figure out, looking at the pictures on Press Express. I couldn't figure out, well, how did they solve this? I didn't quite get what their goal was.
Mm-hmm. You didn't see
Until
that one big piece
it.
that had a different symbol on it?
I did, but I didn't know what they were going to do with it.
Okay. And when I said it was a slide puzzle, it didn't click, huh?
I knew they had to move them around, but I didn't know they were going to push. The goal was to push one piece through the slot. I don't do slide puzzles.
What did you think about the overall challenge there? I think it had some really good elements.
It had very good elements.
Man, that rope climb, that's intense. But,
yeah.
Joe and
even
Chris,
Joe struggled.
Well, I think they made pretty short work of it. I don't know about a struggle.
I believed, as soon as I saw what that was, I said, oh, Eric will do that. He won't want Joe to be, I thought. And as a fireman, he should be strong. And I bet he could do that as good or better than Joe.
Maybe.
And then, oh, nope, wrong again. Joe did it. But Chris did really well. Joe was a tidge ahead of him, but that was tough. I would never have been able to do that.
What'd you think about that 3-level balance beam? That really caused the Manu tribe some trouble, didn't it?
Yeah, that was tough. Not for Joe, of course, but or even Eric.
Did great. Eric, Joe, Aubry all ended up over there working knots, and it wasn't until David made it across before the Manu tribe even had one person working on the knots. And Wentworth cracked her head really
I wonder
bad.
where she did that. Do you know where she hit it?
It was on the 3-level balance that we
Oh,
were
was
just
that-
talking about.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was looked down to write something, and
Yeah,
I
when
didn't
we're
actually see her do it.
taking notes, we do miss things.
Yeah, I didn't see her hit it. Saw that she'd hit her head, but
Yep. Cracked
Okay.
it really good.
well, I really liked the tribe. The blue tribe just crawled underneath. Somebody did it, and the others fall on those ropes at the beginning.
Okay.
Just shot underneath there. I was thinking, well, is that in the rules? They can just shoot.
I think that was the Kama tribe. I don't think that was Manu, the blue tribe.
It wasn't blue.
Yeah, I think that was Kama.
Oh,
that
maybe.
Did that shooting through with Gavin and
Oh,
Eric and Ron and those guys. But in any case, yeah, they made short work of that first part. Wasn't too bad. I think the blue folks were getting kind of tangled up. They had a little trouble getting through there.
oh, okay. Well, maybe, but one of the tribes did, and I thought, whoa, well, that looked easy. But the other people were. Oh, you're right, because I remember the blue tribe stepping over. Lauren was stepping over and kind of caught up.
Yep.
So you're right. It was yellow.
All right. So Kama ended up getting onto the puzzle quite early, which I was excited for.
Yes,
I was really
I
cheering for.
know.
We ended up with our picks. We ended up on different sides, so I was really hoping that Manu went,
I had Julie going.
and I had Reem going.
Well, I had logicked it all out of my head, even though my instincts, I kept going, but I just thought blue was going to lose. And I thought, but how can they? Look at the people they got doing this, pushing those things.
You're making a strong case.
I know, and I convinced myself.
Yeah, you made your decision before I did, but
Oh yeah,
when I looked at it, I ended
recorded.
up at a different conclusion. So
You did. You didn't share it with me, but
actually, I did. I told you.
well, then I ignored you. Yes.
You did. You were quite adamant about your.
I'm
how
like,
it was
no,
gonna
I've
go.
made my picks. I'm not going in to change them. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, that's a good
pretty much
summary
what
of
I said.
exactly what you told me when I
Yeah.
tried to come back and share how I was thinking about it.
Well, I was in the middle of something, and you were disturbing me.
Okay, gotcha.
So, you know.
So our boy Eric did really good there. He ended up seeing how to solve it. So they got stalled out. Kama stalled out, and it wasn't clear they were going to win, right? That they were going to get it. But then Eric ended up seeing exactly what it was, called the sequence, and then they went into motion. And it looked like it was going to be close, but not so much.
But it wasn't Eric. It's Joya that pointed out to him.
Eric called it when they stalled. He was the one that called out what needs to move where.
Okay, but like I said, she pointed out, oh, you got to do whatever, and they started changing. Joe stopped and looked, and then said, oh, okay. So
We'll go back and
she
watch.
pointed something out too.
Okay, and then you can see how it really went down.
Okay.
So Kama ends up winning.
Hey,
Yay for
I'm
me.
good with my boy Eric doing.
Yeah, and Probst
she
tells
did
us
do that.
that Wentworth. Yes, she did.
Okay.
But she wasn't the one who called out the winning sequence that they went
Maybe
into
not,
action to
but
do.
she was helping from the side.
Probst tells us that Wentworth's face says it all, and boy, she had quite a mark there. I didn't realize
She does not like to lose. She
Cracked there.
never. She hates losing.
I know, but so many people love
passion.
losing. That's such a silly, ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, I know, but it's a thing. She always comments on it.
Right.
I hate.
I think it's a mindless thing that people say.
Well, yeah, because you don't always win.
And Wentworth knows that the stakes are high. She tells us any little thing can send you out. Okay, we're back at the Manu camp there on day 3 after the challenge. And yeah, you can see they've got a diving mask. So I don't know if both tribes got that, but when they cut back to them, that was one of the things that they had framed there that stood out for
Yeah,
me.
they must have grabbed it off the ship.
Maybe, yeah. In some of the more recent seasons, they've both been given those, I think. They didn't necessarily win them in a reward.
Well, Keith certainly bailed on Mama quick when he didn't agree
Yeah,
with
I think, was it Wentworth that said, sorry, guys, when they came back? Was that her? It's
I don't
like, you
remember.
I don't know who that was. I always flinch when people do that. It's like, don't do that. Don't take it on yourself. And, yeah, so Reem, Keith, Rick, and Wendy are at the well and when they get back, right? And that's when Keith gets nervous because Reem's saying, oh, it's got to be Lauren or Kelly. They're too tight. You've got a duo. We've got to get rid of them. And, yeah, that for Keith, he realized that there was some trouble, and he's like, "I'm skedaddling out of here."
He must have
I'm
caught
gonna-
Rick's reaction or something.
I think maybe that helped him a little. But Rick seemed to be doing really good. He was guarded as they were, because Reem really zeroed in on him. She didn't want to know what he thought about Kelly and Lauren. She made it broader. Well, what are you thinking in general? Tell me. She wanted to get the whole scoop from him. So I really wish we had got to see more of how Rick handled that. But it was about Keith going, "Oh, this is time for me to save myself.
Oh, I better go do some control here.
I'm going to pull a Sandra Diaz twine as long as it's not me." And so
I'm with you.
he runs back to the majority and tells them, Reem's saying it's between Kelly and Lauren for who goes. And that gets him out of the crosshairs completely for this particular vote.
He went and told on him. He tattled.
And to his advantage, yes.
Yep.
And he said
That's a smart move.
And he gave Rick cover, too, because he told them they're really dogging Rick. They're trying to get him convinced to vote for Lauren or Kelly.
So they nipped that in the bud.
Keith did, yeah. And so the majority goes, okay, fine, we'll just target Reem. And they want somebody to talk to Wendy and try to get her turned around. So was it,
It was
Dan and David, right?
It was Dan, yeah, and David.
They go talk to Wendy. And Wendy, boy, she really mismanaged that. I think this is exactly the Wendy they wanted when they cast her. They wanted someone who would make a strategical error like this.
She believed that she could influence them. I believe she felt that very strongly.
Sure, she wanted them to circle back after they had their conversation.
Oh, you need to take another look at this. She's really
part
good.
Was good. That part, excellent. She wants to circle back and touch base. The thing that she missed was the one that they were whacking her over the head with, which is, hey, Reem's
the majority
a sinking ship, is the way Dan put it when he was talking to her, and she didn't acknowledge that.
Well, and even made this bold step of saying, just right out, I am voting with her tonight.
Right.
So I'm not open.
Take an absolute stance. Yeah, you're just asking for trouble.
This is what I'm doing.
And that really set off the flares for
Though
Dan.
I didn't think that Dan would go there that quickly and say, well, maybe we should just take her out first.
Dan's reaction is exactly mine. I want people.
She's argumentative.
I want to be able to count on. You can't trust anyone,
go along with
but you got to trust. You got to build trust as you go, even though it's a fleeting trust. And she's proven herself to be stubborn, as he described her. So maybe we should get rid of her. And moving quick on someone's good. I just didn't want it to be Wendy. I wanted it to be Reem.
Well, because you had Wendy's face.
Yeah.
I was like, I want it to be Wendy, so Stacey Lou's pointing on be 1 point ahead of me.
Yeah.
Instead of 2.
She explained this to me multiple times while we were watching. That was the only thing she was cheering for at this point.
Yeah, Wendy.
And Reem's reaction, pretty much what you would expect. Screw you, dude. And she's sharpening the machete. It was like shades of Amazon there.
Mm-hmm. Matthew.
Yeah, exactly.
I see Matthew's eyes still. So, anyway, as she goes and tells them how strong she is, what do you mean?
Didn't Wentworth get hurt today? I didn't get hurt.
I wasn't the one who got hurt.
Oh, that's a strong case, Reem. You're exactly
argumentative. That's exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
I thought
make it easy, Reem. Make it easy. You go, girl.
Yep.
Tribal Council, night 3.
She didn't come out here to lose.
What did you think about the set there for Tribal Council?
Oh, it's always cool.
This one was especially intense, right? It's on a big scale. Shipwreck.
Yeah, and it's huge.
And then we get the great speech, which this season, like some of the previous ones, is a lie, a bald-faced lie from Probst. Go ahead and give fire. Fire represents life, and until it doesn't, when they change the rules of the game.
Well, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. Good point.
Yeah.
And Reem's really ticked it off that her name's out there, and
she didn't get very far into being asked a question, did she?
Nope.
And Probst was confusing me. He started talking. I guess he's going to refer to Rick as Devin or Devins.
I thought, who is he calling Kevin? I kept thinking in the challenge, I thought, who's he calling Kevin?
So
There's
from
no Kevin.
what we know, the guy's name's Rick Devens. That's his last name, right?
Devins
But
with an S.
I'm not hearing the S when Probst pronounces it. I'm just hearing Devin, which is why I think you're hearing Kevin.
Yeah, it was like, what does he say? Who's he talking to?
Right. In any case, he's
Like,
talking to Rick.
that's
I'm going to
Rick.
say Rick because that's what's on the roster.
Well, I
but
had to go look.
that's how
I had
know.
forgotten his last name.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I thought, oh, he's saying Devin.
So he's trying to give us just a generic answer. Oh, yeah, we started out one big tribe, but there are many groups, and then it pivots over to Reem, and that's when Probst calls her. She's like, you seem annoyed. I am annoyed. They're trying to vote me out.
Well, and then it's age discrimination. It's like, nah.
Flash right.
No law against it in this situation.
I think I mentioned it in the Jabbic, but I guarantee you at some point in casting, they had Natalie's headshot and Reem's headshot, and they're just trying to decide. Are they going to be David versus Goliath, or are they going to be Edge of Extinction? Because she is a counterpart. She's that same vibe that Natalie has. Absolutely. She doesn't know how to get out of her own way.
Well, and then Probst asks are you confrontational?
And she answers by being confrontational. Oh, are you confrontational by nature? Yes. Dan steps into it. He tells us we don't need a mother.
Chris tells her she's being too much, and you moving my stuff, Nancy.
Your personality is hard to deal with.
Well,
what's her reply?
She did seem
Were
to...
your clothes dry? Oh, you're not getting a clue. You're not getting a clue, and they're hitting you over the head with it.
She did seem to soften after that, though.
I don't think so.
After she had said, well, I thought I was helping. I thought she did mellow. Or
Your
either
read's
that or
different than
she's
mine.
she was playing them with the whole, my family's going to be devastated. You just don't want to be the first one out.
Yeah.
And I thought, of course you don't. Nobody does. But somebody always is.
Has Wendy caught on? No.
No.
Not in the least. She tells him, I like a mom.
And I'm sorry Reem is going home.
Reem, she wasn't going to tell her age. You don't think they could have guessed, huh, Reem? Okay.
It's her big nightmare that she's voted
Go on
out
day
first.
one. Okay, so the votes come in.
Well, not day one, but first out.
Yeah, the first.
Day three.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. So the votes come in. Reem, Kelly, Wendy, Lauren. I didn't think we'd see 4 choices.
And that was Wendy. Wendy did Lauren.
Yeah.
Why did she do Lauren? What was that about?
Because she's about as bright and strategic in the game as Reem is. So she's like, why don't I make an enemy on the way out?
So she would give 1 vote for Lauren as a so there, and then Reem voted for Kelly, so that, that's who they wanted to, they made sure they each got a vote.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And then they, we didn't hear anything about splitting, but they split it, maybe just in case somebody had
Just in
found an
case.
idol.
Yeah, which is wise, and they had the numbers.
Yeah, when you got the
Able to do it.
numbers, that's
And you go
awesome.
back in tribal council, and you can see Wendy saying, I think Reem's going. Hello, change your vote, knucklehead. I don't think your OCD is going to compel you to stick to one single vote. Wake up. Now you got bad blood with Lauren.
Yep.
In
It's
any
not
case,
hard to figure out.
it ends up coming down 4 for Reem, 3 for Wendy. Reem's
And
out.
we both said, oh, Reem will get on the boat. Absolutely, she'll have to.
Yes, yeah. She's
And I would. I don't think I'd be able to not go check it out, at the very least, and try to stay in the game.
well, and her spirit of vindictiveness is gonna compel her to do something.
Well,
like
yeah.
that.
Well, that
sure.
was her.
Yeah.
She grabbed that up with like, I'm not out of the game.
Right.
But that's okay. Good on you.
So we get a little preview of Extinction Island there, and it's raining, and she's wandering around, and she's a little concerned. There's nothing here. Yep, little thunder and lightning, and we're out.
Well, that will be tough out there. Yeah, I mean, doesn't look like there's a whole lot of places. It's probably bigger than what we saw, I'm sure. But
You can see in
I
some
don't
of
know
the
how much
shots
the tide will come in.
where they pull away that,
Yeah,
there's
there's more,
vegetation,
yeah.
and it's not a barren beach.
No, but I was just
It's
like,
not large.
do they have any fruit trees, or is there any food out there? I'm sure they give them some rice or something, but
Minimal rations, just like with the Outcasts and Redemption Island and all that. Yeah. So there'll be no advantage for being there.
nope. Okay, next on Survivor. Ron wants the returnees out.
Good on you, Ron. I'd want them out too.
They had their chance.
Yep.
Let's get them out.
I agree. I agree 100%.
And David wants Kelly out a lot.
Well, he's fine with it being her. That's a little Sandra Diaz Twine thing.
No, he wants her out.
Not me.
He was more, no, it wasn't a not me. He wants her out. You go back and watch that. Mm-hmm. That's not what he said.
I'm not saying that's what he said. I'm saying that's the basic logic, not me.
No, I don't think so.
Focus on that threat.
He just wants her out because she's a threat to him.
She is,
Well,
for sure.
she's a stronger player, I think, in many ways. She's good at puzzles. She's more well-rounded, I think, than him, and he's afraid she might be
He
better
doesn't
liked.
come close to her.
Yeah, 'cause
he's
he
not even
doesn't-
in her league remotely.
Yeah, not everybody's drawn to his personality, maybe, but he seems like a nice guy. And Kelly can be harsh at times, too.
He didn't help you win the puzzle, so his value is in question.
Value is declining with each loss. And Aubry and Joe Aubry says they're under a magnifying glass.
Yep.
So they must have some indication that Ron is looking at them to go.
Maybe
However,
not.
we already know he was talking to Victoria, and was it Julia he was talking to? And but we already know that at least to Eric, and maybe Eric and Gavin want to keep Joe around as their meat shield. So
And so does Aurora.
May not
She
be
wants
on
to keep him
board.
too, just for his
exactly.
pure value.
So we'll see.
I still think that our sense about Julie's right, and that she's a much more likely first candidate off that tribe.
Yeah, I still would have her as probably, unless they really are just trying to get
Hard.
rid of Aubry. You know,
Yeah.
they may go for Aubry while they got numbers, if they can get all the numbers. And I think they could for Aubry, not for Joe, but I do think they probably could for Aubry.
Yep.
So she's got some work ahead of her.
And
Yeah,
she's got it. I mean, 76 out of 78.
Yep.
Has demonstrated the ability to stay in there.
That's the reason I would want to get her out.
But again, Sandra Diaz Twine demonstrated exactly how to manage Aubrey and completely
as long as it's
nullify
not me,
her
I'll
game.
vote with you.
Yeah. Well, in terms of, she just completely nullified Aubrey all
So,
season long.
you know, Sandra spoke her mind too, whatever it was. So, anyway.
We're not talking about Sandra. We're talking
I know.
about how to keep
I was.
Aubrey in check.
Okay, back
Anything
out
else?
at Extinction Island.
Yeah.
Reem's already crying.
I don't
She
wanna
doesn't
cry.
wanna
Cry.
but I'm miserable. It's awful out here. And I thought,
Here's my-
"Yeah,
here's
it
my-
looks awful."
Here's one of my listener feedback questions for this week is, will Reem quit? Do you think she's going to actually stay
I believe
out
she
there
will
until
quit.
she gets a chance to come back?
I don't think she'll quit right now, but I do think she'll quit before.
Before the merge?
Oh, yeah. I do, because I think if they get especially if they get an inkling, if they know that they're going to have to compete in a challenge. Soon as there's people out there she really believes will beat her, then I think she would go, I can't do that. I've been here longer than all y'all. I can't do it. I can't take it anymore.
I'm the oldest.
I'm older than you guys. You're young, and I understand that. And, you know.
All right, let's take a step back. What do you think about episode 1 for this season?
I thought it was awesome, even though I didn't get a point. Or 2 points. I
So
missed that.
far, so good.
So far, so good.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I enjoyed it. Just was hungry for more. It would have been great to
I
have more.
really thought it could be an interesting twist just to see if Reem had walked up there and said, "No, I don't want to go get on the boat." Then you got a whole nother, because they're all, "No, and I came out here to play this game, and I'm not giving up," and blah, blah. And if they walk right out there and go, well, I already been voted out, I think I'll just go on and, If anybody does that, then maybe they're not sick, then how committed were you? Was this just
Sure.
Because I think a lot of people do play sometimes just to draw attention to their goals, whether it be career-wise or lecturing, talk circuit kind of thing, or whatever they're,
They've got another
they
plan.
have another agenda.
Yeah.
So, and that's where it could show up,
Sure.
is in, because now they have to make a choice. Well, and even if somebody quit, wouldn't that be interesting if they quit and they walked out there and went, because they thought they didn't have the numbers or something like that, or I don't know.
I don't
for
find that
whatever
interesting
reason.
at all. But they do cast people. They cast plenty of people that has nothing to do with their ability to win. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that isn't a primary consideration for all the casting decisions.
Well, I do think this was in part designed to keep the returning players in the game longer, because they're going to feel obligated.
Maximum
don't you think?
exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered all this in the JABIC, but
Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, I still think that holds true. But anyway, I was interested to see. I believed she would. But anyway, we'll see what it's like out there.
Yeah. All right.
So
How about
what
a
next week?
JSFL update? Where do
I
we
can
stand?
do that. This might be a record number. And one person lost their USB 24. But there were.
I wonder if someone from Reem's family's playing in JSFL this season.
There were 166 people who gained 2 points for the first out.
That's right. It's worth an extra point there.
Yep. 28 people lost a safe point. You had her safe.
I can't have Reem safe.
Didn't
I
you?
had her leaving.
Oh, I thought you
I
had
got the
her
vote
safe.
out point.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm confusing
I
it
had Julie
with
safe,
Wendy. Okay.
and I had
Maybe that's
Wendy
it.
safe
Okay. Alrighty.
because I played bold.
I thought it was really silly, but okay.
Well, you don't play in the same stakes I do.
I don't, nor will I. And
But we'll get to that in a minute. Keep going.
Okay. As far as the side challenge, we have 13 people brave enough to be in the side challenge.
All right. Lucky 13.
All right. With 6 points, Iron Dave, Jack, Jeremiah, Randy, Slappy, and Stacy.
There you go.
4 points, we got Brandon, Cold Mike, Jay Kindred, James and Shannon, Jonathan and Parker. And with 3 points, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I was going to give an update on,
USBs on
Yeah.
Ultimate Survivor bonus choices. So
let's see what
one
our...
of the key factors there, as Joanne wrestles with a piece of paper,
Okay.
in the JSFL in the fantasy league is before the season starts, you have to pick someone you think is going to win it all. So you take your best guess based on those first impressions and say, this is going to be the winner. So how did it pan out?
So
Who's number one?
it's no surprise that Eric is number one with 76.
Wise choice for those who joined me in supporting Eric.
I
Yeah,
see. And Kelly got 41.
I totally get that.
Aubry got 40. Julia got 27.
Yep, I totally see those.
Yeah, because I considered her too. Joe got 25.
I guess I'm surprised Joe's number is not higher.
Yeah, me too, because I considered him.
I think people are compelled
I think
to
he
get
could
on
win.
the Joe
do.
train. You saw the impact he had on Aurora. So.
Yeah, I do think he could win.
Yeah, we got some strategic players,
yeah.
though. Okay.
Okay, Chris also with 25. Rick has 23.
Wow.
Aurora, 19. Gavin got 18, along with David and Victoria.
Interesting.
And Dan, War Dog, had 15. Ron Clark got 13. And,
You say that with disdain.
well, okay.
You definitely got something against Ron. That's twice
Maybe I'm
now.
a little judgmental
Yeah,
today.
you are.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
try not to be, but
Sorry,
no.
Ron.
Julie has 12.
Wow. I am surprised. That's some contrarians right there.
Says Stacy. Keith got 7. Wendy got 4. Lauren got 3. I'm surprised hers isn't maybe a little higher, but
Yeah, you were thinking that college athlete was going to really
but
bring them
until
in.
you said she'd already had 4 orthopedic surgeries.
Yeah, somebody might look at that and go, "Oh, yeah, well, look how
Yeah,
tough
well,
she is.
she's fixed up now.
Yeah.
She's good to go.
She ain't gonna fall apart out there. They done
Yeah.
fixed her 4 times."
Okay, and Reem got the one.
There's your contrarian right there. That's the ultra contrarian. You get the contrarian bonus. A week with Reem. Oh.
Well, yep. So.
Woo, she just lived up to her namesake there in tribal council.
Yep.
Yep, that's what she's all about.
So,
Okay.
Well, at least I didn't lose any safe points this week, so. That's the only good thing I can say about my points.
Could have been worse.
That I didn't lose a safe. But anyway, it's early days. Whatever.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you frame it.
I enjoyed the episode. It didn't matter about that. Sometimes later in the game, it kind of matters more. But right now, it's like, hey, I enjoyed it. Survivor's back. Woo!
Yeah, Survivor's back. All right, so we've done our recap, shared our insights. Now it's time to turn it over to you. Survivor, did you have something you wanted to say? You were pointing up the roster.
Oh, well, but then you started.
That's
and
okay.
I was going to let you
Pause.
finish.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, did you change your opinion about anyone after the first episode?
No, I don't. Well, maybe Dan a little bit.
No, I kind of liked Dan.
Yeah.
Okay. I changed my mind about Aurora a little bit.
In what way?
I think she might play a little bit better than I thought she would. I didn't think she was going to get along too well, and she still may not, but just the fact that she wanted to, align with Joe and that she
That made you
did well
view
in
her
the challenge.
In a more positive light.
Well, they didn't show her as annoying, and I thought she would be maybe a little too in charge.
In her quest to be a villain, that she might overdo it. Yeah.
But maybe there were other things to show. But I didn't see what I thought I was going to see out of her. And
Dan was sharper than I expected. Who else? Wendy was pretty much everything I expected. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So maybe a slight plus for Dan. Okay, did you have anything else you wanted to say about anyone else?
No, everybody else kind of fell into, where I thought they were. There really wasn't a lot. Most of the time, from what you think going in, after the first episode, you go, oh, wow, I think I was wrong about.
Well, the editors, they toy with us.
It's still early days.
Yeah,
but
yeah, like a cat with a mouse. The editors set us up.
Next week we might be going, oh, there it is. That's what I thought was
exactly. Yeah,
So-
so they've got an overarching view of everything.
True, but we can only go from what we're shown week to week.
Exactly.
So for this week, that's really nothing much changed.
And there you are. There's our thoughts about episode 1. We're looking forward to hearing from you. That's why we do the listener feedback shows on Saturday. We give you 3 minutes. You've got voicemail 206-350-1547. There's toll free if you need it, 844-643-8737. It's like the quickest and easiest way to get your thoughts in. Can't always guarantee the quality. Sometimes it'll be finicky, and so there's that. There's a little bit of risk. Best case for the best possible product, record your own. You can send that into the email at joannaandstacyshow@gmail.com. And if you're not quite that comfortable with having your voice out there, we get it. That can be intimidating at first, or you may not just want
I
to have
don't
your
like
voice
my voice out there.
out there.
I don't like to
Be
listen
quiet.
to myself. I
Be
don't.
silly. All right, so we give you another option where we get to hear Joanne's voice, and she'll read your feedback into the episode for you, so we get to hear more of her voice. So you got that as an option too. You can email your thoughts in. We're looking forward to seeing how everyone perceived this first episode and how it lined up with your expectations and any predictions you're willing to put out there for what'll happen next as we line up to make our second set of choices in the fantasy league and start looking forward to episode 2.
What I did notice from the first episode is that I really had been disappointed Thought it was only an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, that's just, blah, blah, blah.
Not
and
enough.
and it was okay. It rounded out
Survivor. Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
that I didn't notice. It was just like, oh, okay. Well, even if they'd given me another half hour.
Good tempo. We got some
yeah,
good
it
social
flowed.
insights.
It flowed. They got a lot of information and stuff in there,
Yep.
I thought, and it worked.
All right.
Even though it was just
It
60
worked
minutes,
for us. Yeah. Well, not really. It's more like
Well,
40.
yeah, but,
because of the commercials. But there you go. It worked for us. We're looking forward to hearing what you thought. And do you think Reem will quit? Yeah. Who are you most impressed with? Who changed your mind? Who do you think's next to go? Who's going to win it all? Do you have to rethink your USB after watching episode 1? Well, I know one person does, or May.
Who?
The one who picked Reem.
Oh,
I mean, she's
okay.
still there, but
Well, she
you
could
really
come
think
back and
she's
win it
gonna
all.
come back and win it all? She doesn't strike me as that right now.
It's possible.
It is possible. Thanks to this twist, it is still possible. There you
Alrighty.
go. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we covered it.
Good deal. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.